Hi, everybody, and thank you so much for coming today. This program is actually is a kind of a emergency programs. I'm following all these news and what's happening in the world, and then I realized that I have some of my experience and some informations or some of my understanding to share with you. And so therefore, I created this program. And today, I want to talk about eyes. And then next week is forehead wrinkles. And the third week is I'm going to talk about body language, behavioral of Putins. Anyway, I want to share all my experience. The first, my experience with Russian peoples is actually that time they still call Soviet Unions. That is 1991. Some people came to New York and asked us to give some scholarship. And then I asked them, who are you? We are from Soviet Moscow, University Moscow. Then next year, 1992, August, I was invited to Moscow. And so University of Moscow sponsor my workshop, August 15 to 30, 1992. This is a photograph, okay? This is a photograph I have. And this photograph is the gentleman in the center with the camera. He's a professor of University of Moscow. And then next is me, and take a look how young I am. And then lady next to me is she sponsored my workshop. She came to New York and took my course as a special scholarship I gave to her. And she was very impressed. So she arranged 1992. And these are two boys, their sons. This is 1992. My goodness, almost 30 years ago. And this is me in front of the famous fountain. And this is the end of the Soviet Union, you know. This statue is representing each country which Soviet Union controls. And beautiful, beautiful. And I remember that 1992, lots of statue is destroyed and then put in. So anyway, this is first my experience of the Russian peoples. Then after this, I start studying all the history of the Russians and then Soviet Unions and then all this world politics. And because I'm very, very fascinating histories. So I read many books. Then I was very fascinated last month at February, I think 27 or 24, Putin started embedding full scale 3 weeks ago to start wars. I was very, very surprised how stupid he is, you know. He lost his brain. And then I couldn't understand all this, you know, rationalized theory doesn't fit here. No matter what he can achieve, and world disaster is waiting for. So I start looking at his face, you know, because I wrote a book on the Oriental diagnosis Facebook, and then I believe many people have this book, you know, Ohashi's book of Oriental diagnosis. Then I turn page 50, and then I start reading this book again. Yeah, Sampagwise. So I start reviewing Putin's eyes last 3 weeks. And then I read so many different books, and then I check out the YouTube, and all this information which is available, I collected. Then I want to share with you. Okay. And then this is what I discover. And of course, this all the information is not objective. Okay, Oriental diagnosis is not objective. It's not scientific. It's my Ohashi's own subjective predictions. Okay. Doesn't mean my subjective prediction is right or wrong, but at least I want to share with you. Okay. Hi. So anyway, this is a Putin's. This is the first photograph of the Putin, which is it's very fascinating. He was born 1952, October 7th, in St. Petersburg. And Putin was born actually poor family members. His father is a factory workers. I don't know what kind of work he did, but anyway, it's no rich family. It's kind of a poor families member, and not completely poverty. So, but you know, that's time. 1952 is year is already Korean Wars. Korean Wars is started 1950 to 52. I remember Korean War because I was already at 6 years old. Because, but anyway, 1952 is the end of the Stalin. Stalin died next year. But anyway, October 7th, 1952, he was born. Then he became he graduated some university, St. Petersburg, I believe, University of St. Petersburg, which is a very high-end university, I understand. He worked so hard to get out, you know, to get in and to get out. Then he get a KGB, okay? This is a very notorious spy organization during the Soviet Union. And he went to Dresden. Dresden, if you know the Dresden, East Germany, that's time, 1985, he was. This is very interesting for his, to understand to his characters. His political scheme based on his KGB spy organizations, experience and the training. And but anyway, what I'm going to say to you, to take a look at his eyes. Wow, can you see that? I was very shocked. He was a young guy, but he has already in Sampaku eye. Yes, this is exactly what I want to say to you in Sampaku eyes. Okay, this is normal eye. Okay, this is normal eye, and yes, okay. Then this is in Sampaku eye. Eye is up. Okay, and the three part of the white. Okay, three part of the white. Three in Japanese sound. White means paku. So sanpaku means three white part of his eye is white. And the other reason why we call sanpaku is a three white food. Over refined grain and sugar and salt. In other words, artificially food. So refined sugar, yes, alcohol. I don't know how much consuming vodka over there, but judging from his eyes, I think he must have a experience of drinking alcohol. But anyway, I was very, very impressed that when he is young, he has already in Sampaku eye. Not so severe. And I was more surprised to see the next photograph. And take a look, this photograph. This is his first daughter. And then he married in 1983. So this photograph must be around 1984, 5, 6 area, I believe. And this is his wife, and a beautiful lady. And his eye, her eyes are pretty normal, healthy eyes. And take a look at his eyes. Hi, Kazu, please, and look at that. This is his eye. In Sampaku eyes, more up. I was very surprised when he is a peak of his domestic happiness. First child, wonderful baby. Then I believe he has a very good marriage, and wife speaks 3 different languages, of course, Russians and Spanish and French, and kind of a very, international educated woman. She was working air float, and this is where she met Putins and then married. And the reason why I'm so shocked to see is that when man is happy and then good health, good wife and good families, he still has the in Sampaku eyes. I was a little bit annoyed because take a look, must be a very happy moment in his life. But unfortunately, they divorced. Then 8 years later, he announced, this is a very tricky area. Maybe because he is a trained KGBI, because he's interested in politics, and he always hide information, especially numbers. So it's very difficult to believe what he's saying. And this is it's really annoying me, Whenever I hear some of the information or message or some speech from the Putin's and including a Russian ambassador to UN, or also foreign minister of Russia. I cannot believe, because they always hide something, or they always use the KGBI type of the, technique or strategy. So we are very confused because his eye tells, he's confusing us. And this is the reason why I feel so scared in the future. And take a look. This is a more serious issues. This is the latest, his eyes. This is just recently, this year, 2022, around February 19th. Okay, he's of course, whenever he comes out to the in front of the camera, well organized and well, what they call
neat.
Yes, everything's, and take a look at his ties and the change of the color of the shirts and background, and this one, but still face, it's very difficult to manipulate, especially eye socket area. And of course, eyeball, you cannot do anything. Of course, now there's people use a different color of the contact lens that changes the color. But anyway, take a look the center one. And this is really serious issues. First of all, his eye kind of fuzzy. It's not so clear. Borderline is not so clear. Yes. And the other is makes me very, very unhappy and scared is take a look at this color change. Here, huge color change there. Okay. And eyelid. Yes, they're there. You see that? Puffy and puffy. And this area, very important, we will have to know is that skin is so thin. Okay. Eye socket skin is so thin. That means, okay, immediately it shows the blood issues. What kind of blood? And this is the area, vein is so fuzzy. And information of the blood comes to eye socket area. So I got so scared. Is any chance, is he taking some kind of medication, heavy dosage medications? Of course, he never publicized. Of course, he's a, personal doctor, never, tell the public that what kind of a health problems he has. But is any overdosage? Okay, I don't know what it is, but it shows in this area. Okay, around his eye socket area and the eyelid area, good. And then both eyes still in Sampakurai. But one more issue scares me a lot is his left eye is very slightly, yes, that's right, is twisted in. Okay, this is you see, lots of space left, that's right. So left eye is turned to, so this is also scares me because his eyes is not centered. Okay, his eye is not centered. So what does it mean? Well, judging from these eyes, I got more scared of a future. Why? Because he is confused. He's very confused. He's a very rationalized, very cunning, and extremely shrewd. And you know, his political careers last 20 years is everything very, very dangerously shrewd. Then suddenly, 3 weeks ago, I could understand this cunning, very shrewd guy. Does he understand what he's doing to the world? Does he knows what's happening in his life? Judging from my Oriental diagnosis and face reading, judging from my understanding his Sanpaku eyes and his left eyes a little bit towards in, okay? We call young eyes, twisted in. That's one, okay? I am very, very, very nervously pessimistic about future. That's my conclusions at this moment. Judging from his eyes, I'm nervously, extremely nervously, and very pessimistic. And I was born 1944, June 11th in Hiroshima, Japan. As you know, 1944, we are still in the wars until 1945, August 15th. And I remember chaos after the wars when I realized that I'm around 4 or 5 years old. Still lots of chaos in Japan. I still have a trauma in my life, you know. But anyway, judging from my personal experience and judging from my Oriental diagnosis, his face. So what I'm going to say to you is, once more again, this is my subjective, my opinions, okay? And I don't know whether I'm right or wrong, but predictions. Predictions in the future at this moment from his eyes, once more again, very pessimistic. This war, what's happening, 3 ways to conclude, judging from eyes, okay? This is a, you know, my opinions, judging from my understanding. One conclusion, okay, how it goes is Putin, number one, he will be assassinated. Okay. Number two, he commits suicide. Number three, if he won this war, he conquered the world and of course destroys the world. So we have 3 conclusions. Number one, assassinated. Judging from in Sanpaku eye, so many people who had the in Sanpaku eyes assassinated. Kennedy, in Sanpaku eyes, Indira Gandhi, in Sanpaku eyes. So many people assassinated. But however, this Putins is well guarded, okay, extremely guarded, nervously protected. So assassination is not so easy. However, his weakness is his very intimate circle of people. I don't know who, very intimate circle of people may betray him when this person gets scared. He is in danger by Putin's. That time is huge chaos may happen all over the world, especially Russian peoples. Huge chaos. Why? Because Putin didn't prepare successors. Dictators, assassinated dictators, he doesn't suffer. The people who live in that dictatorship countries, they suffer. Take a look back in all the histories, dictators, when the strong dictators are assassinated, who get suffer? Who suffer most is the peoples. Huge chaos may happen in Russia until another dictator comes out. I don't know who. Second choice is he may commit suicide. When I see his face and his careers, and first of all, he was, bullying bad boy actually on the street when he was around 7, 8, 9. Then he encountered Judo, Japanese sports. Judo is a kind of a samurai sports, very spiritual, dignified, and a kind of a moralities involved. And Putin was very, very proud of Judo, and he shows his Judo many times in public. And when he came to Japan around 2002 or 3, he got the World International Judo Honorable Chairpersons. He's so proud of them. And then he showed his Judo in Japan, and we call Kodokans. It's the most important school and building for judos. And he was so proud of his so-called machoism. And then he showed that naked body and horse riding and motorcycles, guns, and then shooting bears, and this kind of a machoism, and this kind of a dictator, they cannot encounter so-called failure. They don't want to lose. They don't want to be the loser. Rather, they want to commit suicide. Of course, the KGB, he already prepared some special poison. Okay, I don't know what nowadays is the best poison for him, but he may commit suicide. Okay, suicide is a assassination by himself. So please remember, in Sambakwai, easy to be assassinated by other people or by himself. Huge chaos may happen. Huge chaos. And I don't know what kind of a scope. Huge. The third option is he won the war, he conquers Ukraine, and he put a puppet government, and then kills many people and destroy everything, and the world economy collapse, world order is collapse. Then I'm afraid, China may invade Taiwan because Putin did a good job. This is the reason why I said to you, nervously, I'm pessimistic at this moment today. And I want to share this, my experience and my understanding. But once more again, ladies and gentlemen, this is my personal subjective opinions, assessment, and my prediction, judging from my experience, judging from my understanding, judging from my experience, all these stories. So today, this is the reason why I really want to share my, you know, uh, my, this kind of unhappy news to you. So today, I want to take any questions about his face and my understanding and my, hi, please.
If you have questions, please put them in the chat or raise your hand and I will highlight you for Ohashi. And just really quickly, I'm going to put the next two sessions. Actually, Ohashi, do you want to talk about the next two sessions, what you're going to
Yes.
talk about here?
Next week, I want to talk about his forehead wrinkles. Okay, forehead. I have a lot of information about wrinkles. And then the third week is his body language, his movement. I have a lot of contents, and so I discuss about how he's moving his body, what kind of health problems he may develop, or what kind of psychology he has, body language. So I have 2 more sessions, and every Wednesday, 1 o'clock in our time.
Okay, so Natalie asks, we often imagine Yin Sampaku as a victim. Is Putin a victim? So this is from Natalie in France.
Well, very good question. Very good question, Natalie. Yes, he is a victim of himself, by his ego, and by destiny. People victimize by themselves. So sad is he doesn't acknowledge it. Okay. Putin did tremendous work. I don't know whether this is work or for me, the way he did Chechnya issues and Georgia issues, how wow, it's, I have to tell you, astonishing job he did it. Of course, terrible to Georgian people, Chechenyan people, including, Russian people. He really damaged these people, but he himself is very, very showing off, as self, so he become his own success and he become his own victims. So yes, Natalie, I mentioned many times in Oriental diagnosis, in Sampakai receives the violence. Yan Sampakai offer the violence. From this point of view, you are right. However, receives the violence by himself and victimized by himself is suicide. So at this moment, either way, suicidal or offender, for me, is very scary person. And his decision, his attitude really changes everything. Why? Because he's a dictator there. See, this is what we have to understand our histories, our politics, yes, that is my answer to you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Natalie. And let's go to Mark. And then Mark asks, could you further talk about the thin skin and veins around his eyes? and how this impacts your diagnosis. I'm going to switch back to that picture just so we can see here. And then,
oh, yes, live there.
Hi.
Yeah, live there. That's fine. So if you see the anatomy book, and this is a eye area socket, you know, and eyes is it's floating in a water bag. Okay, floating in the water bag, and then this is water bag. Okay, so this is a floating in the water bag. Yeah. So this area, especially eyelid area, as you notice. Okay, move your index finger, Kazu. That's right. This area, thinnest skin. Mark, thank you so much for your question. This is a thin skin. Okay, arms, chin, legs, back, hip, skin is so thick. And we have a fat between skin and muscle, especially hara area. Okay, especially this area, we have a lot of fat, but this area has no fat and very thin, very thin skins. Varicose vein can be seen. Varicose, sorry, I cannot pronounce. But varicose vein can be seen. Take a look at his eyes. This is different color in the face. This is, and I feel so scared this color change there. Maybe because he's taking some strong medication, which irritates varicose vein area, then shows on the outside. And is he taking muscle building? You know, he is a very muscular, macho guy. He does all the exercise and building up, showing the muscles in public. And he wants to show that the strong Putins, and that's the image here. So his house is a lot of exercise machine. If he's taking muscle building medicines, may change his brain. It shows in here. So anyway, please remember, this area is the best place to see how the blood in his body is, I don't know, contents or circulating, or what's kind of, you know, what's happening in the blood system can be seen in this area. And so anyway, this is the reason why eye diagnosis is very important to see today's oxygen issues. Okay, okay. So that's the reason why eye socket is very, very critical to understand what's happening now in his biological life, which influences intellectual moralities and intellectualities or decision making and psychology. So, you know, especially decision making process. Everything's not rationalized. Last 4 months, his movement, especially last 3 weeks ago, I was so surprised. This is guy who lost everything. It's not common sense. Something wrong. First, biologically, something wrong, and chemically wrong. And it shows in his eye areas. That's the reason why I got so scared. Then I start, checking his eyes. Mark, very good questions. Please remember, eye area is the first to check your client's health, present health, okay, today's health in this area. Good.
And Veronique is asking about his willpower and his inferiority complex because he has a small face. And she asked, what do you think about this? Let's go to maybe one of these pictures. He has maybe a smaller face here in the.
Well, he doesn't have a small face, which is pretty short face. When he see his entire body, he's a pretty small guy. So proportionately, I don't think he has a small face because he's a very small person comparing other people's, And the most important issue is, for me, is, as I mentioned, he was born 1952. Okay. So today is 2022. Okay. So he's now 70 years old. Average Russian male, okay, average Russian male is 69, which is very, very young, because average Japanese male life is, I think, 84 now, and the females 89. But anyway, so he's a kind of a seniors, okay? So your question is willpower. Willpower is so vulnerable, okay? So vulnerable. First of all, biologically weakened body, okay, destroys willpower. The willpower is so subjective. As all the situation, any change of the situation, biologically, monetary or politically, willpower is to be diminished, especially older people. From the Russian male point of view, he is already in this category, older categories. And this is the reason why I'm so scared, because if he is biologically beyond the Russian male age, seniors, all the people's disadvantage kicks into his life. Judgment, for example, and memories. Okay, memories. Alzheimer's disease, for example, some Parkinson's, for example. This all the so-called senior-oriented biological problem kicks in to destroy his willpower. When he lost his willpower, guess what? He surrendered to everything. What he can do when he surrenders is, he may say, "Kesserasra." Okay, I shoot you nuclear bombs to everybody. Kesserasra. When he lost his willpowers, we are in terrible disasters. It's already he's warning people. We are ready to use nuclear weapons. And he already conquers a couple of nuclear power in Ukraine. And he said he is under control. So yes, it's lots of chaos. But anyway, this is my answer to you, Veronique.
And then Dawn is asking, we're going to do 2 more questions, everyone, and then please check the chat because we're going to have 2 more sessions. And I put the sign up links in the chat, and please forward to your colleagues and friends. This is a free 3-week course for the next 2 more Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So please share. Dawn asks, do you think Putin could die of natural causes if he doesn't destroy the world first? He isn't in the best of health, plus has yin sampaku eyes. And so that's Dawn's question.
It's very difficult to say. I don't know. When he lost everything, political powers, financial powers, this everything, I don't think he want to leave. And he doesn't want to leave. If I were him, because so-called success in his life, last 20 years, so huge. This kind of people, naturally, he may commit suicide. Okay, refusing food and security by himself, and then if he's lucky, naturally, he pretend to die naturally. But I don't know. I don't know.
It's a difficult question.
Very difficult question.
We shall see.
Very
Thank
difficult.
you, Dawn, for that
Yeah.
question. The question from Liz is, I noticed in the photo of Putin and his wife that he seemed unhappy. He wasn't smiling, but it seemed more than that. Do you think there have been something further causing or demonstrating imbalance there in their relationship early on? So I'm going to go back to that photo really quick, because maybe some people didn't see it if they came in a little later, but this is the photo.
Absolutely. He is a very kind of a serious look, and she is a happy look, really. And take a look, baby. So cute. So beautiful babies. And, yes, I don't know any issue there, divorce, but they have two daughters, and both of the daughters, they love sushi, by the way. I heard some Japanese restaurant people said Putin's daughters love the sushi and spend a fortune. And I don't know how old are they now and where they are now. Putin is extremely discreet about his families because of kidnap, assassinations, and these dangers. He has to hide. But judging from this face or this photograph, yes, he looks very, very severe looking, I don't know whether he's happy or not, but, but you may be right. He's maybe, and strange enough, he has a jaw is a nice crease here. And both, which I didn't know that, I can see now both kind of a disturbance of the nutrition. I don't know what I'm talking about, but some kind of disturbance of the eating. But anyway, this is, yes, you're right that he looks, is a very severe looking. Okay, this is, thank you.
I'm going to put it on gallery mode and you can say hi to Ohashi, and we'll see everyone next week.
Yes, I see you.
Right.
Yes. Good. Thank you, Liz. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Oh, happy. Yay, Kathy. From France. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Shikazu.
Oh, that's great. Yes, Liz, one.